Hey everyone, welcome back to Catching Up with the Walkers, and we are back in the house.
We are.
Cassie was outside last time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed getting to watch her get her bow all sighted in. She still hasn't got to go hunting yet.
I have not. I gave Bo a head start, a jump start. Wanted to make sure he would be all right.
You're so generous. So I don't think Cassie expected Bo to go out on his very first hunt with a bow this year and get a nice buck.
I motivated him. He has shot a deer with his bow, but he has never shot one on opening day because he usually lets them walk, waiting for the perfect one or whatever. I motivated him to let go of that arrow.
So good job, Cassie. So
it wasn't who could get the biggest or anything like that. It was who could get in the least amount of hunts. So I got one hunt. I got one chance. I gotta make it work. And I'm jokingly been telling him I'm not going until December.
So Cassie's a stickler for rules. She's gonna stick to the rules. But if she goes hunting one time and comes back empty-handed, Bo is the winner. If she goes hunting one time and comes back with a deer,
even with a doe,
with a deer, that's a deer, any kind of deer, then it's a tie. No skunks. There's no skunks allowed.
I don't even want to talk about skunks right now.
Only deer. So good luck, Cassie. I wish you luck.
I got one tied up.
I have a little bit of faith in you, not a lot, based on the size of Bo's buck that he got on his very first hunt. I don't think that's typical either, but congratulations, Bo, on at least tying and possibly winning. But Cassie, you never know. If she calls her dad and says, hey, I really need a buck, he might tie one up for her in the woods.
Guess what I heard?
What?
He got trail cam pictures of an even bigger one the next night. And he said, had it not been for me, he wouldn't have shot the first night. He would have got the bigger one the second night.
So now he's blaming you, even though he may win or may not. So there you go. You're all caught up on Cassie's.
Some fun back and forth with each other.
Yeah, you're all caught up on Cassie's, what do you call this that you're doing with Bo? Do you have a name for it?
Deer Challenge 2021.
Yeah. You don't see me calling out anybody about their deer versus my deer. I ain't going to do that. If I get one, I'll be happy. If I don't, I'm all right. But Cassie, on the other hand, she's going to turn it into a competition.
Okay.
So speaking of competitions, today's topic is Cassie at the soccer game and somebody was a little bit out of hand. Would you describe that as a little bit out of hand?
Yeah, some people just think they're something else.
So, do you want to run down the story, or would you like me to? Because I actually can't. So just a little.
You weren't there?
Because I wasn't there. So I.
You were there, but you weren't in the area.
I'll set it up, and then I'll let you take over from when this incident happened. Whenever Cassie thought she was going to have to call the cops. No, I don't think it got that bad. But we were at this Rangers soccer game. Rangers team were all there. They all showed up on time after the rain passed. The big rainstorm had just moved through. And we were just kind of hanging around waiting for the other team to show up. And it didn't look like they were showing up. Time had came and passed. I think 11 o'clock was game time.
Yeah, and you have to allow 10 minutes after game time.
So we were just hanging out, and the refs, I heard them tell the coaches, hey guys, you guys have the field. If you want to use it for practice, if you want to use it for, running some drills, it's
Scrimmage
yours.
The parents.
Scrimmage, it's yours for the next hour. So some of the boys went out on the field and started kicking the ball around. Me, I thought this was a great opportunity to get the van loaded up because we always carry a bunch of chairs and ice chests and everything in the world. We don't travel far without bringing half of our house. So I was carrying all that back to the van, and something happened when Ranger kicked the ball. You ready to tell him?
Yeah, I told Ranger, I said, we're here, we might as well practice some penalty kicks. He's been shooting a lot of penalty kicks and corner kicks and all sorts of stuff, so I said we might as well practice some. So he set the ball down where it goes, he kicked it, and he kicked it way too high, and it missed the goal. So it rolled into the next field, which happens a lot. If we would have been playing a real game and he shot and missed, it would have rolled into the next field.
Anytime on a soccer field, that's very common.
Yeah.
The balls, because they have a lot of fields real close together.
Field.
And whenever you're on the coach's side of a field, there's only like a few members of each team and a couple coaches. So people can't really stop the ball. Unlike the visitor or the guest side, there's a lot of people to stop the ball.
Yeah, so I told Ranger, said, hurry up and go get it. And he was kind of embarrassed and he felt bad. And so him and I were both headed that way. And one of the little girls, it was like a U6 game or something. It was little kids, U8, something like that.
So there's like 5-6-year-old girls playing. I mean, in their minds, it's a serious game, but it's not the World Cup by any means.
Yeah, and so one of the little girls kind of kicked it to the side, like they do, get it off the field. So the coach goes towards it, and he reaches down, and I'm like, kind of like, we're right here. And he kicked the ball as hard and as far as he possibly could, not towards us, but kind of catty cornered to us.
A grown man, a 100%, like 260 pound, he was a little husky, grown man, kicked this ball.
It's funny now, it wasn't then. I was so mad.
As hard as he possibly could.
Yeah,
after a little girl had scooted it off the field nicely, he went and... I would think he would. I didn't get to see it, but I would think he kind of made a fool of himself.
Yeah, the other coach kind of said something to him. But as soon as he did that, I looked at him and he looked at me and I said, "Are you serious right now?" And he was like, and so I looked at Ranger. I said, "Son, go chase your ball, I guess." And he turned around and he like kind of put his head down. Like, I don't know if he thought. I mean, obviously no other balls had rolled on the field because there hadn't been a game going on. So I don't know if he thought it was a kid being a jerk or what, but you're at the soccer fields. That's kind of what happens. And so he wouldn't turn back around, and I just said, that's a really good example that you're setting for everybody here. And we got the ball, and then I told Gary, and Gary gave him some stare downs. But
so Cassie told me what happened, and I was like, kind of out of disbelief. I was just like, I looked at the guy. And I told Cassie what I should have done is went over and took a picture. So when we did catching up with the walkers, I could show you guys what the gentleman looked like. But doesn't really matter. Also, what was going through my head when I was sitting there staring at him was the fruits of the Spirit. Patience, gentleness, kindness.
And that's what I told Gary. Like, I already said something to him. I already addressed it. The other coach said something to him, plus everyone looking at him that saw him do that. I'm pretty sure he felt about this big, but he could have turned around and said, "I'm so sorry, I didn't realize it was your guys' ball," or something.
He wasn't about to do that. He did turn around once when I was staring at him, like I was looking at him like, serious? Are you serious? You did that? And he turned around once, was like kind of just that quick turn.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was worth any kind of confrontation. If I would have seen him do it, it would have been really, really hard for me not to walk over there and say something to him. And
I could see if like Ranger had kicked the ball over there 7 or 8 times and being disrespectful and things like that. But it was literally the first time we kicked it. Had we been playing a game, it would have happened. So anyway, what the most frustrating thing is for me as a coach and a coach of 10 plus years is people take sports in general, but Little League sports, way too serious sometimes. I'm competitive. I turned deer hunting into a competition. I turn lots of things into a competition, but there's a right.
She turns carrying groceries into a competition. Every morning when she carries the kids' bags out, she could easily make 2 trips. But
why?
Nope, she's gonna get every single thing in her arms and make sure it's only 1 trip.
So anyway, like there's a right and wrong way to do sports. There's a right and wrong way to set an example for kids. There's a right and wrong way on how to conduct yourself as an adult, especially to another child. Like Ranger was like mortified. He got the ball and he was ready to go. He didn't want to be there anymore. He was done because one man acted like a child and punted his ball across the soccer field in front of everybody.
Yeah, Ranger isn't one to be confrontational, especially with an adult.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good thing. We've taught him to respect adults. So it's just disheartening when an adult doesn't show that same respect to your family. But I think we all learned a lesson that day at least. We know that some people are going to act like children even when they're grown adults. And there's really nothing that Ranger could do about it. Outside of acting like a fool, there's nothing I could do about it because that's how it would have acted probably.
And I just told Ranger, I just said, buddy, he either one, didn't realize what he was doing, or two, has a really bad temper and we just need to stay away from him. I said, but I said something because I want him to know you look like an idiot and let's get the ball, let's go on. Not going to cause a problem. Not going to kick the ball over there again. Because that would look intentional. We went to the other side of the field, but there was a high school game going on that end. So I told him, I for sure didn't want to interrupt that game. So anyway, we just got the ball, went and found Gary, and left.
Yeah. So there was the confrontation at the soccer fields, trying to do our best though to teach our children how to act, and we try to be pretty particular about the coaches that we sign our children up with too, because a coach's job, as Cassie knows very well, isn't only to lead a team on the field that day, but it's also to lead their team on how to act and how to respond and different things like that. So we always want the best coaches for our kids, and we can usually spot one a mile away when we don't want them.
And when we say best, we don't mean most talented with the most W's. We mean setting an example, teaching them how to play the game correctly. Sportsmanship and high expectations is something that we look for. I don't care if Ranger wins a game. I want him to learn the game and how to act correctly. And if a coach can't act correctly as an adult, we're going to find a new one.
Yeah.
I'm also the first person to argue with a ref, right?
I've seen Cassie get a technical more than one time.
Okay, those were all goofy.
Goofy?
Yeah!
Yeah, you were acting goofy. You shouldn't have acted like that.
So,
no, I'm joking. The
one you're talking about, and a man told me in my face
you don't have to defend
to
yourself.
shut up. And all I was doing was coaching the game.
Was that volleyball?
No, that was 4th grade basketball.
I'm trying to remember which one. Okay.
Anyway, I said something and the guy got...
She obviously remembers it more than I do.
Real touchy. And I know if you say something to a ref like, hey, that's a walk or whatever, and they get touchy, then okay, I got to back off a little bit. Some people you can say stuff to, some you can't. So I said something and he looked at me and he came over there and said, you need to shut up. Well, I don't do that word. We don't say shut up in my family. And a male is not going to tell a woman to shut up either. And so I pointed out how rude that was, and then he gave me a technical.
Yeah. Sometimes it's worth it. You were technically correct. So, I mean, that's probably...
What did I do after I got the technical?
Hopefully you sat down, because otherwise you would have got ejected.
And I shut up, and I let him look like a fool. And then what happened to him?
I don't remember.
The association wrote him up for the way he acted, because he should not have gotten in my face and said, shut up. Anyway, we're talking about something totally different here.
There you go.
But
don't tell a woman to shut up. Any of you men out there, do not tell a woman to shut up. That's not right. I support Cassie.
I'm the first person to yell at a ref as a coach, but I'm also the first person to sit down and be quiet when I've overstepped my bounds.
Then when Cassie sits down and be quiet, then that's when I start yelling. Yeah, I'm just joking. I behave.
My assistant Jared had my back that day.
I behave in the stands most of the time. I don't even know if I was. Now I was chasing the kids.
Yeah.
They're getting old enough now to where I could probably sit down and actually watch a little bit of basketball. But Ransom still likes to run around in the gym.
Basketball season is up on us. It's that time of the year, and the last few weeks of soccer overlaps with basketball, and it's kind of a juggling act until we make our transition into those sports. So I'm excited. My little kids at school didn't get to play basketball last year with everything going on. It just didn't work out. So I'm super excited to see them back on the court, especially Ranger. I really have a blast coaching him and watching him play. Yeah,
can't wait for him to get out on the court and see how the season goes. It was really a bummer last year when it got canceled, but so was everything else. So it wasn't like a shock. But hopefully this year we get to go full force.
So what we got talking about catching up?
So as far as catching up with the Walkers, you all seen, if you didn't see the skunk ordeal, then God bless you. You're doing good. Are you living under a rock? You stayed away from our channel throughout the whole weekend last week. So we had a skunk under our chicken coop, and Cassie and I thought that was a good time to go live. So
Friday evening.
So we could share with everybody how to get rid of a skunk.
Because we're experts.
So the things that don't work is throwing sticks at the trailer, getting a water hose.
That kind of works. You got him to move.
And spraying underneath the trailer. Some people said the water hose wasn't powerful enough. Mating calls on YouTube. I tried that, and unfortunately, I don't think our skunk was in the mood. She wasn't in the mood at all. So
yeah, it had 2 white stripes. Someone said two stripes means female.
Did we try anything else?
We waited it out for a little bit.
Well, and I moved around until I saw that we actually had a good, decent aim and shot at it. So Cassie took it, and it stunk worse than anything I have ever smelled.
Someone said, did you look to see if you got a headshot so you could debunk that if you shoot them in the head, they won't spray? I didn't look long enough. But I saw some red substance in the neck area. So I think that's where it was. I was just aiming for white because I knew that would be in the middle.
It was starting to rain, and we were ready to be done. I think was part of it too. Like we were over.
I think that was a 75-minute live.
Yeah, it was long, but either way, the skunk got taken care of. So if you watch that at all, you know exactly what we're talking about. As far as what else is going on, we had a special guest singer at our church on Sunday. I know some of you guys joined us. Thanks for tuning in to the Facebook Live over there.
Our churches, not ours.
Over at our church, and hopefully you enjoyed Leighton Howerton. I know I did.
Yes, and then we have told you guys about going on a special trip, knocking out some states, and I can't believe that's next weekend. Can you believe it? Time has flown. Next weekend is fall break. Next weekend, we're traveling.
Yeah, so a week from tomorrow is Cassie's birthday.
Happy birthday to me.
Then that weekend is going to...
Well, we're leaving like on a Thursday.
Yeah, so we'll be gone that weekend to... our first state is Santa Rosa, New Mexico. The second one is Arizona. And then on the way back, we'll stay in Albuquerque. No. Amarillo, Texas. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3.
Which is the northeast, southwest panhandle of Texas.
Yeah, we're not going to start that at all. So that trip will knock off 3 off of our 50 states in 5 years. And I think it'll bring our total up to Alaska, Oklahoma, Missouri. It'll be 6 because we're adding 3.
Moving on up.
So there you go. You guys want to?
Where are we going for Thanksgiving?
To eat turkey at our families. We're not going out of state. I can tell you that much.
We're going to have to get busy if we're going to get them all.
We haven't even been a whole year yet. We've already got 6 knocked out. So we'll just need 4 more. And whenever you get in that northeast corner of the country, it's like a shotgun pattern. It's just like you'd go and it's like and it won't be a problem. I have complete faith we can knock this out.
What is the grand finale trip?
Hawaii.
And we're going to get with our friend Luke over at the Outdoor Boys for some advice on going to Hawaii, because he was telling us all about it when we went camping with him. And but I can't remember anything he said.
I've watched several videos though. They rent like a really cool house when they go.
But he was telling us which island to go to and things with the kids. So
lots of hiking, lots of outdoorsy stuff, obviously. But Luke knows his stuff when it goes to traveling. He's well versed. So we're going to be taking his advice. And that'll only be less than, about 4 years away. We'll be going. Time will fly. And this is the perfect time.
Oh, Ransom will be like 9 years old.
Ranger's age. And that's why we're doing this, folks, because...
Ranger will be 14?
Yes, Ranger just turned 10. And
that'll be a fun trip, though.
These next 5 years are, to me, key times to have our family be making memories, because they're all old enough that we'll remember all of it, and they're getting to be old enough to where they don't ask, are we there yet, every 5 seconds. Ransom still does quite a bit.
Well, we made it to Alaska. We were on there for 6 hours, and we made it. They did really good for their age and ever being on there. But I've been to Hawaii. That flight's even longer, And so it'll be just a great trip with their ages and all that. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, I won't even at that point. I won't even sit by him when I book the flight. I'll put me like in first class, and Cassie in first class, and the kids will be back in coach.
I don't think so, Tim.
Just wait. This is going to be a great trip. So as far as praying goes, we have a couple updates on some of the prayer requests we've had. I know a little while back we asked you to pray for one of our church members, Diana, and she was actually with us in church on Sunday. She was still healing, obviously. She broke her femur bone.
They thought it was her hip at first, but then they realized it was her femur.
Yeah, and then we had a dear church member also that had open heart surgery this past week, and she just got released from the hospital and is doing great. She is walked out of the hospital and got into the car, and so it's just unbelievable what the doctors can do, and obviously God's hand was with her the whole time, and will continue to be as we pray for healing, just a full recovery coming out of it. So
yes, and so many of you have asked for prayer down in the comments. Please know we read and pray for each and every one of those. Some of you guys were praying for family members' salvation, family members' health, your own health, lots of different things. And we thank you for trusting us to share that information with us. And we thank you, everyone else that's watching, that you go down there and you comment and you encourage as well. So we hope you guys have a great day. We love you so much. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. We got some fun videos coming up, not only where we just sit and talk, but also when we go and do. And if I get that deer and tie a bow, you'll be some of the first to know.
There you go. Cassie's going to share with you first.
So you guys have a great day. We love you. God bless.